Hey everyone, it's Night Haro here, and who am I with?
I am Will Schoonover, the Munchkin line editor at Steve Jackson Games.
Awesome. And Steve Jackson Games, I've know a little bit about you guys.
Yeah.
Can you tell me just, I know you have a lot of product lines. You probably can't tell me all of them.
The company was founded in the early 80s,
Okay.
so we've been around a long time. We do GURPS, we do Car Wars. Car Wars is back now in its 6th edition, starting in 2021.
Okay.
It had been out of print for a little while. We
Back
brought
by
it back.
popular demand.
Yeah. One of Steve's original games was Illuminati, which is a little card game that's still very popular.
Is that what got you rated?
No, that was the Cyberpunk GURPS RPG book.
Oh, okay. We'll punch in something about that.
Yeah, so the government didn't understand what cyberpunk was in the 80s and 90s, and they thought it was real hacking. So yeah, look that up. It's a whole story.
Yeah. It's on the website too.
Yeah.
Really interesting read.
But Munchkin is one of the things that people know us for the most right now, and for the last about 20 years.
Okay.
It came out in 2001-ish.
Yeah.
And we just published a Batman Munchkin, and we just previewed a new mystery Munchkin for some playtesters last night. It's coming up. It's a new brand. We've got Warhammer 40K and other things like that. And it's been our own space.
What do you guys do with 40K?
So we have a
Munchkin.
core set. We have a Munchkin core set for 40K.
Whoa, okay.
And one for
I
Age of
didn't know
Sigmar.
that. I didn't know that. Okay.
So
Warhammer fans out there.
Yeah, anybody that likes Warhammer, if you want to play a game that kind of pokes fun at your favorite thing as a nerd, whether that's Cthulhu or general sci-fi or Warhammer, we don't poke too much fun at brands because there's a balance. But if you want to sit around with your friends and laugh about the thing you love, then Munchkin's a really good way to do that.
Okay, that's really cool. Yeah, I was telling you yesterday that some of the playing on some of the tropes is some of my favorite parts.
Oh, yeah.
You got boots of butt kicking. All these things that, especially for those of us who either have played for a long time or like old school editions, which a lot of stuff is carried over.
Yeah.
But you find things that are like, oh, these are a play on this item. This is a play on that item. Boots of Striding and Spring, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there's lots of horrible puns.
Yeah.
But that's the fun.
And it's a great party game. You can get anybody in, and we all need a gateway drug to get more of our friends into playing nerdy stuff with us. Cool, that's awesome. This is something I ask everybody, and we're all nerds, but we all came into it somehow. I often often in this con, I've been telling a story about getting given a full box of AD&D books. Couldn't play. What got you into nerd culture and gaming?
I was kind of born into it. My mom's a gamer, but she doesn't know it.
Okay.
She taught me chess when I was 3 or 4 or 5, and my family always plays all kinds of traditional card games and stuff.
Yeah.
So I spent my life around normal games like hearts and spades and those kind of things. And then we bumped into somebody who had some Space Marines in the 90s. And we were like, wait a minute, you can play with toy soldiers and there's rules? And then I was just hooked. And then I found everything else and walked into a game store for the first time in the 90s and all that kind of stuff. So, I was set up and primed with all the gaming.
A dynasty. Dynasty.
Yeah, we played Risk and we played all kinds of standard mass market board games, and then I found the deeper hobby. Before it was this,
everything,
right?
Yeah, they come so
this
far.
is 30-something years ago.
Yeah.
But now it's just amazing. And that's one of my favorite things about the last few years, too, is that a lot of new people are coming in because they play a video game, they love a video game, and then there's a card game that has that video game's art on it or whatever. And they're like, ooh, I could play a card game with my kids or whatever that's about this video game I love.
And it can help sometimes because it's like, we went with the same themes. And so I imagine there's probably some things in the Warhammer edition, for example, that people would recognize.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite things is I just came back to the company a year and a half ago. I worked for the company 10 years ago for a few years. But being a lifelong Warhammer casual player, I got to write a Warhammer expansion that is about to come out or just barely came out. I can't remember the release dates.
Okay. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah. So Munchkin has standard cards. There's a door deck and there's a treasure deck. You open the doors, you see what you fight, you draw treasures when you kill things.
Yeah.
There's an alternate.
The door and get
there's an alternate add-on way to play where you play with dungeons, which are bigger cards, and they are global effect cards. So you're all in the dungeon of slimy stuff or the dungeon of whatever. So we made a 40K expansion with all the planets from 40K as those big dungeons. So you're playing on Armageddon or Terra or for one of those places. And I got to write all that. And it was like, oh, I can make these funny jokes in the background of the art about this thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I have the larger. I'm a bit of a Munchkin fan, so not a huge fan, but I have the larger expansion and everything else. But so really cool stuff. But anyways, I appreciate. I don't want to keep you.
Yeah, no problem.
Off here. Yeah. So thanks for taking a second to talk with me, Bill.
Yeah, have fun the rest of your show.
Appreciate it.